Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Hey, it's madness in March, man, and
right.
I know you are ready to fill your bracket out.
Hey, man, I just filled my bracket out. I'm ready, and hopefully it's not destroyed after Thursday, DJ. But, hey, I'm going with what I got, player.
We have opportunity to talk about March Madness and all the NCAA matchups. We'll also have an opportunity to recap that sensational state championship game between George Washington Carver Lady Tigers and the Columbus Lady Blue Devils. Man, it was a great, great game, Dale, and I know that the girls represented the city well.
Very well. City of Columbus should be proud of both of those teams, and really, hey, we couldn't have paid a PR firm amount of money to even get what we got.
And those sensational Columbus State Lady Cougars, man, they're on a trail that they're headed out west, and they're going to be playing in the Elite Eight of the NCAA Division II Women's Tournament. All that and more coming up next on Sports Vision.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. Well, Dale, the madness has started in March, and of course, this is the time of year. Although basketball season started many months ago, this right here, this time frame right here, is when most people get excited.
They get excited, DJ, and like I said, DJ, we always say this. That's why CBS pays $1 billion a year just for March Madness.
Absolutely, and again, when you talk about, what I feel or what I take away is that the brackets, all the office pools, and everybody on the street, the barbershop, man, everybody has a stake in this tournament.
It's big time, and they open it up with the public, with the social media now. Everybody wants to fill out a bracket, which is great for basketball, collegiate basketball, and at the same time, DJ, there's no such thing as having a perfect bracket. So, I just kind of simplify my stuff as, hey, I'm going to pick 4 teams, and I'm going to roll with those 4.
Well, the great thing about what's going on is that, tradition repeats itself. You got a couple of schools, or the top seeds, rather, 8 miles apart. We talk about Duke in North Carolina, and they have been around for a long, long time. Coach K, he is the Bill Belichick of college basketball because all he does is win, man. And again, when you talk about what this time of year represents, and then of course Villanova with the outstanding national championship last year, and them having the opportunity to come back and compete for or at least put their title on the line. It's just amazing way.
Right, man, it's really amazing, DJ, but I believe in history, and when Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils play the way that they're playing right now, it's going to be hard to beat Duke. I don't care where they're playing or whatever they have to do. Coach K can wheel these guys. I think Coach K, he set out probably about a month this year getting well with some sicknesses that he had. But at the same time, when the Duke Blue Devils are playing like this, beating North Carolina in an ACC championship, and there might be a rematch down the line somewhere, DJ, but I got Duke as one of my 4, DJ.
Well, there's a team out west that, we have known, back when we talk about tradition, UCLA is back in a big way with a freshman, guy whose dad's raising a lot of cane, man. I'm talking about the ball kid, and he's a great player, and his dad thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread.
Really, man, that's what he's supposed to think, DJ. But really, I thought I saw some baseball dads and some football dads, but nobody is bigger than this guy, LeVar Ball, that is. But I think really one of the biggest things, I'm not sold on UCLA, DJ. I saw him play the other night. I think really they got to, when they're on, they're on. But I think really in this kind of intensity and this kind of passion that comes in with March Madness, I don't have them in my 4. I don't have those 4.
Well, in the next few weeks, we'll have an opportunity to see some upsets, and of course, we'll have an opportunity to go all the way to, I believe it's Phoenix. They're going to be playing in Arizona out there, man. And hey, who knows? By the time the next few weeks are up, we might have a deal where Sports Visions goes on the road to the Final Four.
Speak it, player. All you got to do is speak it, and we are moving that direction. But I think really, it's some big things are going to happen in really this year NCAA's, and I think really one of the biggest things, the biggest stories, like you said, Villanova. Do they have an opportunity to repeat? Then you got Kansas. Kansas is always there. I think Kansas leads the whole USA on really NCAA appearances. Kansas is going to be there. Duke's going to be there. You know, the Kentucky, North Carolina piece, DJ, and you know that if you can come out of the South, you got a good chance of winning this thing.
Let's give a little time to the women's side of it. Of course, you know UConn is back where, you know, we mentioned, you know, Calipari being the Belichick of men's basketball. Well, you got to know that when you talk about Gino Auriemma, he is the Bill Belichick, and he might even be a step higher when it comes to women's basketball because he's won so many championships. Is it 10? National championships?
It's going on 10, DJ, but really, I got to put him in that bracket with John Wooden. I think really when his girls start playing, they are about 100-plus consecutive wins that they have. I think they got to win 5 more to be the national champions again. Who they're playing? Notre Dame, who they've already beat this year. They're playing a Duke team that they already beat this year. Maryland, a team that they always beat. So really, his girls are just getting better and better as time progresses. And really, this guy, I mean, it's not a habit. It's just history that he has some of the best players ever assembled on the team.
And again, now the dark horse in this whole scene on the women's side, of course, is South Carolina, and we know the Coach Daly up there. She just been named Women's USA basketball coach, replacing the previous coach. But again, Dawn Staley has been sensational for college basketball as a player, now as a coach. And again, you can't count South Carolina Gamecocks out.
You can't really count them out, DJ, one game at a time. And I think really that's what you tell your girls, one game at a time. And if there is a game between UConn and South Carolina, Dawn Staley's going to have her girls ready. I mean, she has a great legacy. I think they made a great choice for choosing her as the women basketball coach for the Olympic team because she has that legacy. She's a former player. She's a former All-American. She knows what she's talking about. Great recruiting-wise. Great for the whole U.S. team.
Absolutely. And I know that when it's all said and done, usually the first round or two, usually you can tear up your brackets. But, most people end up guessing the Final Four regardless of, how it goes round by round.
Well, I just think it's real easy for me to just say, okay, I'm going to pick one team. I'm going to go with it. But like I say, I feel good about Duke, DJ. North Carolina, yeah, maybe they laid an egg in the ACC championship, but you can't count Roy Williams out, DJ, because his history shows it that when Duke and North Carolina are playing like they're playing, both of them teams really are just, apart by one game. It's going to be big, but then you can't rule out the defending champions, Villanova.
And that's my pick, of course. That's what I'm
going
going
with Villanova.
And my dark horse is going to be UCLA, because again, I like. Because again, every time that you hear UCLA, the Ball, Mr. Ball talking about his son, I know that they're going to have sound bites, and I know that they're going to put video on him, and I think that that's going to be a really, really enlightening part of this whole process.
I think really it's going to be a good game, a lot of good storylines, DJ. And again, what is a NCAA finals and NCAA championship without the Cinderella? Who will be the Cinderella this year? We're going to have some buzzer beaters because really if you don't have any buzzer beater, that's not March Madness. But you can just about tell, DJ, and just history can tell you this. If a team is only 5 or 6 points, or just give them 10 points, DJ, ahead, it's still going to be a barn burner. It's still going to be a buzzer beater. You can bet your last dollar on that.
All right, we'll take a short break. This is Sports Visions.
I'm back, swimming at the gym every week. Last month, I started playing tennis again. And 4 months ago, I went hiking for the first time. I struggled with knee pain for years. Just walking upstairs was difficult. But the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute was there, from surgery through physical therapy, helping me get back to doing the things I love. Thanks, St. Francis. I'm back in motion again.
Truth be truth, the will to win will win. So intimidate your darkest fear. Revive every forgotten fantasy. Set goals you can never reach, then reach them. Count cards to fight fate stack deck. And if you want to win as much as you want to live, you're ready to reign on.
Hi, I'm Grace Carswell. I almost lost my life in a car accident due to someone else's negligence. Forrest B. Johnson & Associates held the insurance companies accountable and worked tirelessly on my behalf to make sure I got the compensation I deserve. You can trust Forrest B. Johnson & Associates. Results you can bank on.
Call Forrest B. Johnson & Associates right now. 706-223-5380.
This is the first state championship in basketball for Columbus High in 55 years to this year. The first one in girls' history. It means so much to us. These girls have worked so hard. These seniors, they felt the sting of defeat 4 years ago as freshmen, and they committed themselves to come in here and win this game. I can't say enough about Carver because they fought the whole game. It says a whole lot about women's basketball in Columbus, Georgia. I'm just proud of these girls right now. We're going to relish this one for a little while.
First time in school history, we made history. And that's what it's all about. You know, they just kept fighting, they never quit. You know, we lost to Wright in the fourth quarter, which was big for us. But Tatiana White, she's a big-time player. That's why she's going to Kentucky right there, make those type of shots. I'm just so proud of them. You know, I'm emotional inside, but, you know, I got to give it all to God, man. You know, we put it in his hands, and he came through.
And you can see the energy, the passion, the pandemonium deal coming out of that arena in Atlanta. And I tell you what, man, that was probably one of the most exciting high school basketball games that I've seen in quite some time.
It really, DJ, and it was a great look for television. And I think a lot of people got excited after they saw the deal. But, you know, sometimes you just got to go to a game to realize how exciting it was. And really, for the passion and the intensity of the game, I think really that just added to the festivities.
And you know what made it so great is that 7,000 people that were in the arena, and we're talking about on the campus, I believe it was McCamish Pavilion on the campus of Georgia Tech. You know, there were 7,000 people. But what made it interesting was that St. Pius, they played in the men's state championship game right after the girls' Columbus-Carver game. Now, St. Pius came to Columbus a couple of weeks to play Carver in the semis, and of course, so they had an opportunity to get familiar with the Carver culture. So when all their fans start filing in, that was another 2,000 or so fans that was cheering Carver on. So it was total pandemonium, man. It was a great look. Like I said, a lot of folks, a great contingent that came up from Columbus, both Carver and Columbus fans and alumni, and you know what? They owned that gym.
I mean, really, DJ, a lot of people don't realize this. You know, again, we always say that how important sports is, whether it's basketball, football, or whatever, but really to have that kind of impact for the whole city of Columbus, to take that to the state capital of Atlanta and play basketball, and people realizing now that this is a city of champions also, and I think really it just gave that much more respect to the women's sports.
And speaking of respect, and I know we've been hearing this from quite some time, but you and I both know that it's coming on, but you know, with that statement that those young ladies made on that court in front of the world, is that Columbus female basketball is on the rise.
I mean, really, DJ, we've been saying it for the last 4 years, you know, it's the women's sports are on the rise. I mean, really, and falling in with our Female Athlete of the Year luncheon that's coming up, I think really it kind of shows people now what we're talking about, not only in just basketball, but volleyball for us, you know, soccer. I mean, these girls are doing a great job, and really, they need to be commended for it.
And you know what? It's just a great transition into you know, what we're talking about. You know, again, the Columbus State Lady Cougars basketball team, and a lot of folks, like I said, they've been tripping and slipping, if you will. These young ladies have won 31 basketball games. They already have 2 titles. They won the Peach Belt regular season title. They won the Peach Belt Conference tournament title, and of course, they won most recently the NCAA Division II Southeast Division title, and they're now out in Ohio getting ready to play in the Elite 8 of the NCAA Division II women's basketball tournament.
I mean, really, DJ, and hats off to Anita Howard. She's done a great job since she's been there, DJ, and really to build the program like it is, each year they're getting better and better and better. And for as recruiting is concerned, for as Columbus State being known as having a great women's basketball program, that piece has been submitted, you know, and then at the same time, DJ, again, the women's sports are coming through, man.
Absolutely. Big shout out, of course, to a couple of our all-star players for Columbus State. You know, we're talking about a young lady by the name of Alexis Carter. Dale, she's about 6'3", smooth jumper, great hops. She plays on both ends of the floor. And Ashley Azuzu, who she's just a grinder. She goes down low. She does whatever it is. She's the bulldog of this team. Those 2 ladies, and they have several others, but those 2 low post players have been a tremendous advantage for the Columbus State Lady Cougars and what they've been able to accomplish this year.
Well, you know, really, DJ, and hopefully, you know, Coach Anita Howard, she takes under consideration she is a top recruiter, DJ, and to keep some of those girls here in Columbus, I think really Columbus State really has the first dibs on these girls, but at the same time, DJ, I just think the program and the culture here for women's basketball is getting better and better.
Congratulations once again to both Columbus High School Lady Blue Devils, and the Columbus State Lady Cougars. Now, coming up in just a little bit, don't go anywhere. We're going to hear from the MVP of the state championship game and also the Sports Vision's 2016 Sue Walton Outstanding Athlete of the Year, Tatiana Wyatt.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're going to be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out. Bummer, man.
Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
Live in the spotlight with Sports Life Entertainment. Enjoy our 25-passenger luxury party buses or corporate coaches. For more information, contact us at 770-989-1340. And remember, it's all about that sports life.
Today, my dad walked me down the aisle. It seems like yesterday when he taught me how to drive. And just a few years later, he took me to college. But I remember the day my dad had a heart attack. And that almost changed everything. He needed open heart surgery. Lucky for us, we had the amazing doctors at the St. Francis Heart Hospital on our side. Because of their excellent care, he's here with me today. Thank you, St. Francis.
Welcome back to Sports Visions. I'm pleased to have with us one of the most accomplished young athletes to have come from this area in the past decade or so. She's the Class 4A Girls Basketball Player of the Year, and she hit a big shot to bring a state championship to Columbus High School. Welcome to the show, Tatiana.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
You've, I tell you, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, you seem like you just got here and you're on your way out. And then just reflect a little bit back about some of the great things that you felt good about doing here at Columbus High School with all the accomplishments that you've had in volleyball and in basketball.
Well, coming in as a freshman, volleyball was not my main sport, of course. Basketball was. So playing volleyball, I was not really I didn't play a lot freshman year, but we did go to state and we did win, so that was a good thing. Then my role changed throughout sophomore year, and I was beginning to start. Then basketball was my sport, so freshman year I came in, I was starting, so that's a good thing to do as a freshman.
You know, I heard a funny story, and you talk about basketball, but I heard somewhere that your dad really was encouraging to get you involved in basketball. You wanted to be a doctor, and he thought maybe the best way to get you into law school or into med school was to put you in basketball and to perfect your craft in basketball. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, as I said, like I didn't like basketball at all. Like I didn't think that was going to be the sport for me at all. So, but wanting to become a doctor and going to school, and that was the easiest way because paying for school would be a lot. So, earning a scholarship to play basketball would be the best way for me. So that's why I just worked hard at it to do. So.
You're so humble and modest, man, and you're the big girl, a big lady on campus, and you have been for quite some time. How do your peers, your classmates treat you when you're on campus? They just treat you like one of the regular guys, or one of the girls?
Yeah, it's just regular. I don't really like a lot of attention, so it's just if they say something, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. I don't really pay a lot of mind to it, but I just take it in and just remain humble and be modest.
A lot has been written and a lot has been said about you in a positive way over the past couple of years, but let's go back. Let's talk about the early days and what were some of the things or some of the people that really inspired you to be this great athlete that you are today?
Most definitely my mom and my dad. Those two pushed me a lot to do what I want to do. They always tell me anything I want to do, I can do if I put my mind to it. So with that, it comes with hard work. So I always had to put a lot of work into with school and with basketball.
I know that this state championship is only maybe a week or so old, and you've had an opportunity to kind of come home and pinch yourself. I know I approached you in the locker room right after the game, and it was like your eyes were just in a daze. But now that you've had an opportunity to really come down off the high and think about it and reflect on it, what are your thoughts about what happened on last Friday?
I honestly, it still felt like a dream too. So
still,
yeah, still like a dream. So I watched the game last night actually. So I was watching it, and I was still nervous, even though I knew it was going to happen. It was just really intense, and it was a great game, and I just feel good about it and being able to make history here. So.
You've attracted a lot of attention. A lot of colleges have come down in the last couple of years, man, and it's been a who's who. And you've decided to sign with Kentucky to play basketball. Mm-hmm. What made you go to or come to that decision?
Well, I took 4 official visits to Kentucky, Vanderbilt, North Carolina, and Georgetown. So Kentucky was my last visit, and out of all the visits, I just felt more comfortable there. It wasn't too far away from home, but it's far enough, and it's just the feeling I got when I was there. The coaches, the players, the whole atmosphere of Kentucky was just nice. So,
you know, watching you play the last few years, there's a special bond between you and your teammates, but there's a special person that I know that you are really, really good friends with, Raya Copeland. She's signed with Alabama. You two were the big guns on the squad.
Yeah.
Now, how is that going to be now with you having the opportunity to go to another SEC school and play against her?
It's going to be pretty fun. She's playing for Alabama, I'm going to Kentucky, SEC, like you said. So we're going to be competing either way it goes for SEC Freshman of the Week, Freshman of the Year for SEC, just stuff like that. So that'll be pretty cool, but we'll keep in contact.
There's some people want to know now, obviously you have recorded history, of course, bringing a state championship to Columbus High School's ladies basketball program now. Of course, between now and college, what are some of the things that you think is going to be important to getting you up to speed with when you report to college?
Just to continue to work out on my basketball skills, still do my schoolwork, of course, so I can graduate, but just continue to work and try to prepare myself for what I'm about to come in contact with when I do go to Kentucky.
And she says getting to work as if it's a problem. She has a 4.0 grade point attitude. To that point, there's some kids out there that don't understand the importance of obviously getting your lesson, or is it not that cool and you are a star athlete and you are a star in the classroom. Just speak to the kids out there that maybe that might follow in your footsteps, how important it is to maintain your grades.
Do well in school. It'll get you where you want to go, because if you want to play basketball in college or whatever sport, being recruited, if you have a good GPA, that says a lot about your personality, and not just you're good at sports, but you can do both. Do good in the classroom and do good on the court, so they won't have to worry about you getting your studies or whatever. So school is very important, and it's okay to be smart.
You know, you mentioned your mom and dad being an integral part of you being the athlete that you are, but there's a lot of coaches over the years that have had their hands on you. Are there any other coaches that stand out that you want to say thank you to?
Yeah, just started from my first AAU coach, Jennifer Osorio, and then going to Coach Woods, and then moving to Coach Mo was my last AAU coach. He really put me on the market a lot for like colleges and stuff. And my middle school coach, Coach Larkin, and my high school coach, Joe Sharon. So all those coaches have had an intricate part of my life.
There's been some tremendous athletes and some tremendous female athletes in particularly that have played here at the school that have set the legacy, from Loretta Cobb to Keisha Soigné. Now your name will go right up in that same conversation. How do you feel about that?
That's actually a great honor to be named with those women, because they're great athletes and great women. So I actually got a chance to meet Loretta Cobb, so that was nice. So that's just an honor.
You also had the good fortune of being selected as our Sports Vision's 2016 Sue Walton Outstanding Athlete of the Year last year. And, of course, our luncheon is coming up this year on April the 20th on Thursday, and I'm sure you'll be there to defend your title.
Yeah.
But, again, when you think about all these accolades, and, again, you've already been named Player of the Year. You've already been named All-Region, All-State, All-City is going to be coming up soon, probably make All-American. How do you keep all that in perspective?
Just taking it in and learning from it, getting the experience of getting all the accolades, and just having it under my belt is just more of a driving force to do well.
All right, folks, the lady who hit the big shot to bring the state championship to Columbus High, Miss Tatiana Wyatt. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're going to be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out. Bummer, man.
Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
Live in the spotlight with Sports Life Entertainment. Enjoy our 25-passenger luxury party buses or corporate coaches. For more information, contact us at 770-989-1340. And remember, it's all about that sports life.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Visions. And Dale, the air is filled with basketball, and again, a lot of great basketball, in particularly locally with the young ladies that have made a statement, that went up and made us proud up on the campus of Georgia Tech, between, of course, the state championship, Columbus Lady Blue Devils, and the George Washington Carver Lady Tigers.
Hey man, big time, DJ, and really, you can't enough hadn't been said. You know, yeah, they played last week, but really, DJ, the buzz is still in the air.
It's still in the air, and it's going to be in the air all the way until Thursday, April the 20th, because we're going to not only recognize the top 40 female athletes in East Alabama and West Central Georgia, we're going to honor the Glen Woods basketball program, state championship girls basketball program, as well as the Columbus Lady Blue Devils basketball program, because, again, what we're doing is all in the spirit of excellence and all in the spirit of honoring the top female athletes in this area.
That's what we do, DJ, and that's what we said we were going to do, and we're definitely going to give honor to these girls. I mean, the whole program from around the whole Chattahoochee Valley, I think really everybody knows what we're talking about now, because the girl programs are really at their top speed right now, DJ.
Now, if you're out there wondering how can you get involved, hey, maybe you want to buy a table, maybe you want to buy one of our sponsorship packages, you can get in touch with me at 706-681-1136 or Dale Williams at 706-681-5192. Now, again, we started it last year. We just had an intuition that, hey, look, we know that this is something that needed to happen. We have been in this game almost 13 years on the air, and of course, we have seen women's sports, we've seen men's sports, and again, these young ladies have made leaps and bounds, and I think now is the time for us to give them equal billing.
I mean, hey, DJ, like you said last year, you know, really, we saw this thing coming along because the women programs, we've said and made this statement several times, that the girl programs are really a step ahead of the boys right now. I think really one of the biggest things for is basketball right now, but you start talking about volleyball, you start talking about soccer, you start talking about all these things that these girls are doing in these programs, and not only are they good sportsmen, DJ, you know, they're good academic students. They're good people in the community. They do a great job in community service around here. So hats off to the girls, and that's what we're going to do on April the 20th. Like we always said, we're going to definitely recognize the women basketball programs and all the programs that they do.
In closing this segment, Dale, I tell you once again, Coach Anita Howard, the Columbus State Lady Cougars, man, they have a chance to bring home a national championship, and that would be the icing on the cake, and that would be the candle on top of the icing. And the fact of the matter is that Anita Howard will be the featured speaker at our Female Athlete of the Year Awards luncheon this year. And, man, what a story she can share with those young ladies.
I think she can share a great story with them, DJ, and really, like I said, we're pulling for Columbus State, and I think really the buzz is on the campus of Columbus State with their women basketball program, DJ, and we're waiting on that football program, too.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for all the sports we have for you today. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great week.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.